Hello and welcome to Respect the Crit. I'm your host and game master, Ian Duncan. My pronouns are he, him, and I am joined by some wonderful people on this lovely afternoon. Firstly, Jamie Lee Bonez. Hey.
Hello, I am Jamie, she, her. I play LORNA, they, them, the modified medical droid. LORNA. And you do have like a track for that you're about to drop. Do you wanna give us a little taste of that? Your hip hop LORNA track? 100%. Let me just get into the zone really quickly. If Alex could drop the beat, and I will just go ahead and...
Alex, if you please, drop us a beat.
Non-copyright DMCA music? What are we doing?
And that other voice that you're hearing is Alex Herrera.
Hi, I am Alex Herrera. He, him. I play Bgax Botano, the Doug Slicer, also he, him. I don't have no beats. I don't have any beats. That was a bluff. Everything that I just said, there's no way I can make a beat.
Actually, you do a beat every time we sit down to play, and it's really wonderful. I don't think anyone has heard it because it happens in the background and gets cut out. Yeah. But Alex sings the song at the top.
That's how I hype myself up. I was like, I get ready for this.
One day when it's ready, we'll release that hot track.
It's literally just gonna be, for my part, it's just gonna be the bum, 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 bum. It's just gonna be that for an hour. It's an hour of that.
Don't want to keep people waiting for that. Well, on the back of that hot track, let's get back on track with our fearless fringers. What do you say?
Yes.
Yeah.
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
Episode 35, Let the Jawas Win. After escaping from both an Imperial prison and a heavily guarded spaceport tower, the crew of the Way has made it off of Socorro, sowing chaos amongst the controlling factions in and around the frontier planet. They escaped with their lives and without the consequences of bringing down the crime lords of the Outer Rim world. For now. With a full crew and a mostly intact ship, our fearless fringers patch up their wounds, assess their options, and plan for the next jump and the next adventure at the Empire's edge.
Let's go ahead and do the Destiny roll. One dark side from ya boy.
I got one light side.
2 light side. Wait. Didn't we have a wills thing too?
I did pull the Wills of the Force, and they decided to tip the balance towards the light side in your favor.
Yay! They love us.
They really like you. Yeah. They really like you.
They like us. They really like us.
There was one time I remember it went dark side. I was pissed.
The dark side will come back around again.
Yeah,
I have faith. I have faith.
It's been too long. It's been too long
we're due.
since it's been overwhelmed. Yeah.
Dave is on my side. Dave knows what's up. He's going to vote dark side every single time. Yeah, so we do have an additional light side point, which will just evaporate from the game. It's just an additional asset, and it doesn't get converted to the dark side. So we have a pool of 4 light side and 1 dark side. Our camera pans down off the title crawl, disappearing in the background into a field of stars, and onto a familiar YT-2400 ship. It's sustained some damage. Some might call it character, but it's got painted on the side of it the Way in Bothan. And it seems to be floating in space, just taking a break, somewhere safe and away from the Empire, away from the trade routes, away from the consequences of evacuating the planet Socorro in the manner of which our fringers have. And speaking of our fringers, we cut into the interior of this ship, and we see in its interior somewhere, there are a multitude of rooms and space. There was once a bunch of cots in here. I think a lot of those have either been like put away or jettisoned to make room for the other beings that now inhabit the ship. And one of those beings is a Doug. And Alex, could you give us a description, what they look like, maybe what's on their person, where they are in the ship, of your character?
So Bigex Botano, the Doug Slicer, as mentioned previously in the opening of this episode. He is the impromptu pilot of the Way. He likes to believe that he's the owner, but the real owner has been found and is now back on the ship to much of Bigex's chagrin, but he agreed to help Elo find them. So Bigex is Doug's. I think they stand shorter than most like bipedal sentient humanoid creatures. They're about probably, when they're just walking, 3 foot something and some change. He has the 4 limbs that can act as hands and feet. Bigex, as opposed to the most famous Doug Sebulba in Star Wars Episode 1, Bigex is a tad darker than Sebulba was. He doesn't have the splotches on his arms or limbs, but he does have some splotching or whitening around his jawline from where he furiously has rubbed his jaw and scratched it from thinking, and it's kind of a tick of his. As opposed to having multiple kind of whiskers with beads coming down, he has maybe just about 2 or 3 of them. It's not typically his style. He's got some hair coming out of his face, as most Dougs do. I think at this point he'd be in the pilot's chair, just kind of going over navigations and looking at Rat, who is our astromech droid, and arguing with this creature, this being, that he doesn't even know what it's saying sometimes, because it's just, beeping and chirping back at him. So he'll just be there flipping switches and looking at this thing and arguing. It's just like, no, I told you, it's 3 lefts to Albuquerque.
Planet Albuquerque. And you can see, like, on your screen, like, you can see Rat is, like, inputting in coordinates to places he wants to go, but before he can finish, you're like, wait.
No, we're not going there. That's Coruscant. Are you crazy?
yeah, he wants to go to Coruscant. He's like putting in a droid spa or something. And he's like,
just having like the bang him, like boom, hit him on the head for a second, like, listen to me.
We cut from that in the cockpit to another one of the beings on this ship, a droid that is like a bipedal droid, something between a protocol droid and something else. It's hard to tell because they seem to be made up of a lot of different parts. And Jamie, could you please describe who your character is and where they are in the ship?
LORNA, or LO, they're probably patching up Creed, and they are an amalgamation of droid parts. Their facial structure, you can see that their mouth is more of like a soundbite line, so whenever they're speaking to Creed, you see these peaks and valleys in their mouth based on their tone, and their eyes are sort of like these lights. And they do have like protocol droid sort of hands, so they have more of a humanoid sort of features like that, but they're pretty beat up as well. Like, you can tell they've been patched up quite a few times over the years, and they've got their blaster on them while they're patching up Creed.
You finish and he's like,
Do I get anything? Anything sweet? I did really good, huh?
Like a lollipop. Arlo's going to sort of gesture to Barney, who is this floating helper, and say, Barney, could you get Creed a treat? And Barney will rush over to whatever lollipop drawer they may have on the ship.
Oh no.
Here's a sticker, Creed.
That's great. Yeah, Barney, the is sort of a spherical Polis Massa surgical assistant droid with a really simple display that just sort of like displays emoji faces, kind of has little spindly arms. And when they're not assisting LO with procedures like this, fixing up the crew and stuff like that, sort of like resting on Elo, sort of like as a little backpack or a little barnacle. Yeah, I think B4 goes to like a drawer of stickers, and like pulls out some adhesive stickers and brings out a page for Creed, and he's like,
Oh, these are great. I love these.
It says like, you're a superstar on it.
These are great. Thank you so much. Oh, thanks for fixing me up too.
He runs off and to show them to the rest of the crew, and we can see some of the ship. We see some of the like ins and outs of it in the hallways, and there is indeed a crew aboard the ship now. They're sort of like taken residence in some of the spaces here, a room for pretty much everyone, though Creed bunks with another crew member, an older human man named Obram. Creed runs in and like shows him the stickers and starts putting it on his bed, and Obram nods and smiles. Our camera pans over. We see a room that belongs to Verse, a human Sokoran woman, and we pass by Bigax's room that's full of his things, kind of messy, noodle cups everywhere, discarded soda cans, that kind of thing.
Specific special brand ramen cups from the chain.
Right.
Yeah, hell yeah. What was it? It was like it was like star noodles or something, right? Like I think it changes every time.
The mascot it's like an R2 unit is the mascot.
yeah in the colors of the franchise for sure. And it drifts by the captain's quarters that we see a young Bothan in. He just seems to be sitting there amongst a lot of stuff, and we see that there's a lot of stuff in the room. Some of it belongs to him, some of it doesn't belong to him, but it's just kind of a big mess in there. And that is our crew. Oh, I forgot one else.
One special guy.
Yeah, there's one special guy. We move past into sort of like the social space, the like mess room / kitchen / conversation area, and there is a Devorian man there whose horns point up, and one of them twists away from the side of his face, sort of like drawing his skin and his flesh up in sort of a sneer or a smirk. And this is Devrek Nemonox, the pirate, once of the Crooked Horn. So we see everyone here. Verse comes up out of the engineering area of the ship and into the cockpit, and she sits down next to Bigax, probably in the co-pilot chair. Well, I did the best I could. We got life support and the hyperdrive works, but we're in bad need of repairs.
Bigax looks at the console, looks back at Verse. Yep. Well, I can tell life support's working because, well, we're not dead yet, so that's a good thing. But, anybody know of, any places to get gas?
Out here? Not really. There's always the core.
Bigax shakes his head, like grumbles when she says that. He's gonna stop, look at Rat. Know of any cool outposts out here, friend?
Rat tries to again input the coordinates for this droid spa that he wants to go to on Coruscant.
The Bigax just slaps his little like, what are they called? Like his little prongs that come out of him. Yeah, he like slaps them away. No! He'll get up from his seat and he'll stop and think for a second. I got an idea, hold on. Verse, come with me. And he looks at Rat. You! Don't change course! He'll turn around, walk down the walkway from the cockpit to the common area where Devrek is sitting. I assume he's sitting on the couch that's like built into the wall, and there's like the table, a little hollow chest table, something pretty standard, right? Or like a eating table.
Sure, yeah. I think he's like playing with a vibro knife or something, just like flipping it around between his fingers.
Oh, so hardcore.
Feet up on the table.
Yeah, ugh. Bigax walks up to him and, hey, Devrek, old buddy, old pal. And then he'll look at his feet and he'll push his feet off the table very slowly. Got a question for you.
What is it you want?
When you guys need refueling, or when you had a fleet and you needed refueling, where would you go? I know you didn't go to the core worlds. you wouldn't go to Silkro. There has to be some place you'd go that's off the map.
I know a guy, someone at the Ring of Kafrine.
Okay. Also, he looks at Verse. We didn't really discuss this up front, but we do have a spot open on the crew. I just don't see how you might be useful here. No offense, just
Oh, well, of course I can be captain.
That's what exactly. And he looks at Verse. That's exactly what I mean. We'll drop you off there. How's that sound?
You know what? That is great. I am looking to branch out, maybe like make more crew. And there seems to be too many cooks, that kind of thing in here. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Devrek, I have never ever thought that I would say this, but I understand 100% what you mean. This place, the rings of what were they?
Ring of Kafrine. It is a mining facility, mining station occupied by the Empire.
Great.
And so you'd get repairs in a place occupied by the Empire.
Oh yeah, it's totally fine. The guy that I know, he worked on my ship all the time. He always making repairs, when we get blown up, that kind of thing. Yeah, he is very good. And the imps there, they care more about protecting the mining production. You keep a low profile, you'll be fine.
All right.
Trust me, I trust this guy. He works on my ship all the time.
Big X looks at Verse. I think we should maybe have a meeting about this.
Okay, I'll call everyone in.
Get ready, Ian. Now Gur walks in.
Great. First calls a sort of like a team meeting, and everyone congregates in this area. They sit down. Yeah, and it's kind of got a couch. Is there any other like cool thing about this part of the ship? I mean, there's all those little, I think we've discussed, there's like little trinkets and things that are all over here that you have been collecting, So we've got like
trophies.
Like a broken down swoop bike, and we've got like that the lightsaber on like a hilt, or like on a stand, and like,
you know what there is, even though it shouldn't be there, is a life day tree.
Oh yeah,
a miniaturized life day tree. Like
yeah. Totally.
And we don't know. Nobody knows how it got there. It's just there. I mean, I guess because it's like a kitchen area too. So there's like the whatever machinery is used to produce the food. Mm-hmm. There's blue milk powder packets.
Oh yeah, totally. There's powdered blue milk. Oh, for sure. Creed is like serving everyone powdered blue milk. He's made up for the meeting, and he has like a little apron on.
And then there's like some sort of press for Jawa juice, a Jawa juice press.
What's Bigax drinking?
Jawa juice.
Jawa juice.
Like high concentration of Jawa juice, like the purest form.
It's like the Jolt Cola version of Jawa juice.
Whatever those little monsters drink to get themselves all riled up.
And what about LO? Is LO partaking in anything, or?
Probably not, no. Yeah, they're not really much to imbibe. Have we decided our next destination?
Bigax kind of clears his throat a little. Yeah. All right. So as you know, the way is not exactly looking hot these days. And then like a roof panel just hangs. And he'll look up. Yeah. Our current and only passenger, non-crew member, and I'm going to say this with extreme importance, non-crew member, Devrek, has informed us of a station where repairs can be made on the down low, with only one large issue. It is an Imperial mining facility.
Yeah, everyone kind of like looks a little nervously around.
I am assured by our, again, emphasis, non-crew member passenger, that these imps care more for their money and resources than they do for people who are wanted. So, chances are we can go in, get repairs, and leave without issue. And he looks at Devrek. Is that correct?
He's got just like a big smile, and again it's like pulled up in one direction in this like weird twisted form of a smile, and he just gives you the biggest wink.
Unsettling. Extremely unsettling.
Yeah, and they look like devil. I mean, they look like
Yeah, they're
basically devils. Yeah, or
Yeah, they got
tieflings. If you play D&D, they're like devil people.
Sharp teeth too. That's like one of their favorite things.
Oh yeah. They got real sharp. Yeah, so he's got this real sharp mouth of teeth. And he just gives you a big old wink.
Shivers down B-Gex's spine. Unless anyone has any other ideas on where to get repairs, this is our best shot. I've been informed that we can jump. We got life support. But I don't believe all the weapons work. I also don't believe that the way can handle so much as a gust of wind on her bow currently without breaking apart. So, I open the floor to other suggestions if any are to be had.
Verse raises her hand. I'm good with going to the ring. Keep a low profile, obviously, but what then? Where are we going after we get these repairs?
He'll stop for a second as he knows he's gonna he's thinking about the chai, and he'll stop. I have something I need to finish. I would welcome the help. Besides myself, I know that we promised, and he looks at Obram, someone else a trip to get them somewhere safe. And he'll kind of walk a little bit towards Obram. If you have any say or you want to talk about where it is you need to go, present your case here. Move, feel like motion, like the floor is yours.
Obram kind of looks around at everyone and he says, "Well, I don't think it would be wise for me to go back to Jeddah. And honestly, I've never been safer than I am right now, in the company of all of you. As you noticed, things were not super great on Socorro, and now it seems we've divorced ourselves of that planet. I mean, I can pay my way and I can earn my keep. You don't have to worry about that. I have no desire to go anywhere. Ultimately, here is good."
Big X looks at him like, "Oh, okay, that's a little more sweet than I thought it was going to be.
I'm going to feel so bad if we get Obram killed.
Yeah, right. Well, he's not. Obram will never be in any fights ever.
Right.
Wherever.
Stay on the ship, bud.
Yeah, Rat. Obram and Rat will remain on the ship. That's you two. They are going to be connected because Rat is not going to die, so Obram's not going to die. I will die before Obram dies. I will drive the ship into the enemy before Obram dies. Make sure Obram's off the ship first, though. Begax looks back to Elo and Verse. I'm just going to assume that they're standing pretty close in proximity. Then I guess it's my thing, then, isn't it? He looks to Elo. I know I helped you out before with, Golden Boy over here. And I'll motion to Gur. So I'd like to ask for a favor in return, Elo, if that's all right.
Of course, I would be happy to help. It does seem, though, that I'm helping a lot lately.
Well, I mean, let's not chalk up our individual duties as help, right? I mean, come on. What kind of relationship is that?
So where are we headed, Begax?
Well, I know I'm looking for my counterpart. My tiny co-pilot, if you will. A good friend named Chai. He and I worked in the ISB and we got separated. Well, we had to get separated when we got made on the station. He went off somewhere different with a bunch of guys pretty close to what the type of work Deverick does. So I only hope that he hasn't been corrupted in any way. But that's the problem with old Chai. He tended to take on the personalities of who he was hanging out with. So by that make, he probably has an eye patch now and says things that they're really colorful. He's somewhere in the Lahan system. It's pretty far. It's, I think, the edge of uncharted space, if I'm not mistaken.
Lahan? That is a place I would like to see. Nobody really knows what's out there. unless we have coordinates on how to make a safe jump, it will be difficult to get there. We could try, but that would be rather dangerous. We should have a map, a plan, a route. That way we can make safe jumps into wild space.
Yeah, it brings more questions to my mind as to why him and his new friends would go there, but maybe they just finished a job and are looking to lay low.
First goes, how do you know he's there? How do you know he's alive?
Well, I got a message on our coded channels. It's an empty frequency that's just used by him and I. A lot of slicers tend to do this when they have contacts, or he looks to Gur again, or when they're working with those of the espionage network. It's an old trick. And he looks to Gur again. Pretty standard, right?
Oh yeah, protected channels. It is the bread and butter of spy work.
First things first, he looks to Devrak. We're gonna have to pay your friend a visit, patch this baby up, and plot a course. Who knows? Maybe the imps have some star charts just lying around.
I bet my friend can help you get where you are wanting to go. His name is Vampronalis. He knows all kind of stuff. He hears all kind of stuff on the ring. If you make it worth his while, I bet he could tell you. I bet he could help you get set in the right direction. Huh?
Okay. Any friend of Devrak is worth at least interrogating, so...
I am very friendly, and so are all my friends.
Yeah, I remember how friendly you were the last 2 times I think we met.
Don't count that. We were not friends yet. Now we are friends.
I believe you literally started our conversation with, "Hello, friends." Oh, I'm sorry, let me do it like you. "Hello, friends."
Well, yes, like I said, even though we didn't know each other, I am friendly guy, okay?
Anyways, let's plot a course for... What's it called? I always get
The ring.
The Ring of Kafrene.
I have a question.
Yes,
And
please.
we don't have to do this, Alex, but I'm just thinking because the ship is in such bad shape, would we be able to spend a light side point to like, pew, oh my gosh, we're there! Woohoo, we did it!
Yeah, I would love to spend a light side point to do that.
I just don't want to run into any more Devrex, you know?
Oh my god, yeah. The thought of there being more of these fuckers out there, like, no, thank you. Absolutely not.
Yeah, if you want to use a point to make sure that you have a just safe passage, yeah, we can use a point for that, sure.
Burn the one that he can't use.
Yeah,
Thank you, Wills. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it to the pit stop because of you.
The Wills have foreseen that your journey is a safe one. Yeah, so then I guess what we do is we just do a Star Wars wipe. It's like on you at the table, and we just wipe. And we're at the Ring of Kafrene. The Ring is a failed mining colony and is now a big... I mean, they still do mining. It's in the middle of this vast asteroid belt, and it's this big trading depot. The city is actually built in between 2 of these massive asteroids. So it sort of like tethers the 2 of them. It's got a lot of this like narrow trench-like streets, basically. The walls are very tall and you can see up. And if you were looking up from a point on one end of the side of the ring, you can see the other end of the ring as if an inverted city. If you were like looking at,
that's cool.
Dang, what's that movie?
Inception.
Thank you, Jamie. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Like
if Doctor Strange, but I mean the same thing.
Or Doctor Strange. Yeah. There's a couple of things. It's like a inverted version of the city up above you. Basically, it's like very crowded, and there's like clouds of this yellow ammonia that like just sprays out and like gives a really stinky smell. There's just a crush of people there, people and beings there's a lot of stuff built all up on top of each other. A lot of like people living on top of each other, and everything is like very temporary. It looks like everything in here is like built from stuff that's just around and could be like torn down in a second if it needs to be. There is an Empire presence here, but like Devrek said, it seems like they're way more concerned with like protecting the mining operation and less about like making sure people are safe.
What are they mining for?
There's nothing special here because this is ultimately like a failed mining post, but they do, I mean, there are like metals and things like that they do get occasionally, but it's not a lot and it's nothing rare.
Gotcha.
So to land the ship, do we need special codes, or we just do like, hey, we're traders, like we're just passing through?
Nope, you're just coming in. It's just a trading post. I mean, your ship gets ID'd like all ships do because surveillance is a huge thing in Star Wars. But if you would prefer that not to happen, you can always give me...
If they're going to clock us, I want all the systems to clock us as a ship that's of a similar size, but it's different. Same car, different VIN.
Right.
That makes sense. The Way is a ship that was associated with, being on Socorro, and I don't want them to think that we were there.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, roll me. Let's do a roll. Let's do a computer's roll.
Hell yeah. That's my
and
jam.
I think that's probably a hard check to jam your codes.
Uh-oh! What are the... No, those are bad. Those are all bad.
Oh, no.
One success, 3 disadvantage, or whatever that one is. The
threat? Yeah, you can come in. Do you want to come in as the Grey Wing? Is that, or do you want to do another...
something generic, just like...
Okay.
I don't know, like the purple cloud or something, like...
The purple
something
cloud.
Something that hasn't been used yet.
There's nothing wrong with purple cloud. Maybe I was trying to think of something like a way to Star Wars that up somehow, like purple I guess that's not really Star Wars. Purple nimbus or something like that.
That works for me.
Purple nimbus. Does Bigax get the idea for the purple nimbus because he's just smoking a huge vape cloud, and he's blowing that cotton in the
vape niche, baby.
We see the Way now disguised as the purple nimbus coming into the ring of Kafrene, and we do another wipe, and you are docked in a dock, basically a mechanic's dock. Big X and LO are outside of the ship, negotiating with a Quarren. They are a squid-looking being from the planet Moncal.
Cool.
They have like really beady squid eyes and like tentacles that come down on the face and really sharp fangs. And you, the Quarren that you are speaking with is
Vampire Nalus.
Vampro Nalus, yeah, and he's a red Quarren with like blue bioluminescence sort of like around his face and down his body that sort of like come on in patterns as you speak with him. He's got like gold rings and like piercings in his beard and tentacles.
He's a pirate. He's literally a pirate.
Mm-hmm.
He's got that thing that sea creatures have from the deep where if you like look at their eyes from a certain angle, it like looks opaque and like weird. So if he's like turns his head to talk to you, you can sort of like see the light kind of like making his eyes glowy and weird. He looks at the two of you and he's looking up at the Way. He like runs some diagnostics and he's like, well, from looking at the damage you've sustained, I can repair the whole thing back to factory conditions, but it's going to cost you about 9,000 credits.
Big X vomits on the floor. Too much vape.
Ella looks at Bigax like he is drunk because that is a possibility.
he's just high on those thick clouds, that thick cotton.
That purple nimbus. You know what I'm saying? Woo!
Now, I don't have to fix the whole thing all at once. I can take care of... I can do whatever you can pay for, basically. Whatever you want to pay for. Might I offer, maybe you want some better shields or stronger weapons.
Big X looks to Elo and says, we only have like 10,000, so getting her back to normal state will be almost all our money.
That is true. However, we have quite a large jump ahead of us.
Yeah. I'm okay with paying the price.
I am as well. Perhaps we can find some way to make some credits while we're waiting for the repairs.
Big X kind of snarls. I knew you were going to say that. And a part of me really, really doesn't want to do any more work. But, I mean, when you're, when you're hurting for a job. He'll look to, Vampro. Vampy, our boy Vampy. Yeah. Back to tip-top shape would be fine. And he'll, beep boop, and he'll painfully swipe the credits over. 9,000 flipping credits. We have 1,900 left.
Is there any way to make some quick credits on Planet Vampy?
Bam. There you go.
Well, my friends called me Vampy.
I would love to be friends. Perhaps there's a discount involved.
It's too late. I already paid.
Friends and family.
I don't do friend discounts, but if you're looking to make some credits, I have some information. Between friends, let's say.
Of course.
He, brings you in close.
There's a rumor around the ring. A derelict ship floating out somewhere in the expansion region. Not far from here. Signature is Imperial. And no defenses. Just seems to be floating there. Could be that there's something on that ship of value. Something maybe you bring back here, and we split the profits. But if you're not averse to a little danger, you would be racing scrappers, salvo crews, pirates, and eventually the Empire. They're eventually going to want their property back, right?
Yes, they seem to always want their things back, as we have noticed.
BX kind of nods.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, I don't know what's on that ship. I don't know where it is, but I bet you could go around the ring here, listen to the rumors, maybe loosen a few tongues. Find out what's just floating out there like an unopened gift. Maybe it's something really good. And then, you and I, we can be rich. And you can leave the ring with a repaired ship and some credits in your pocket. What do you say?
That does sound quite enticing. I'll have to talk it over with my crew, obviously.
And of course, my finder's fee.
Hey, you know what, Devrick? Yeah, we can pay you a finder's fee, but then, if we're gonna get into particulars, I'd hate to charge you for the food you ate, the bed you slept in,
The rescue.
the time you used the bathroom on the ship.
Now you're going to parse utilities amongst friends? I thought we had something going, huh?
Only if, you're gonna part finder's fee amongst friends meeting for the first time.
Okay, I tell you what. I'll take a reduced amount of my normal amount, 10%, eh?
I think you said 5% wrong.
Well, you did save my life. And that is worth at least 5% to me.
Sounds great.
He, he puts out a hand.
Yeah, Big X shakes it aggressively, channels into the Doug strength just for a second, but then doesn't squeeze that hard and lets him go.
Oh, ooh. Gives you a wink. Vampro Nalis says,
Okay, well, I'll get started on your repairs. Maybe you can learn more about what's out there while I'm working on your ship.
Sounds good, Vampro. Appreciate it. Oh, watch out. There's an old R4 unit. He's kind of like the caretaker of the ship. If he starts putting in coordinates, just erase what he puts in. Don't let him finish. Whatever you do.
Ah, yes, a problem droid.
It's not a problem. It's just, he's got a little attitude.
Thank you, friend, for the information.
If I were you, I wouldn't go around blabbing this around. The fewer people know about this, the better.
I think we all nod. Like, look at each other and nod.
Okay. Bye, friends. I love making new friends. Can I friend you on Spacebook?
I mean, yeah, if you believe in that, corporate complex, sure. Haven't used it since college.
It's really hard to make friends when you're my age.
Oh, God.
Poor guy.
Oh, no. God.
If you do get a request, do, friend. It's me, yes.
Will
Okay.
do. Will do.
I do follow backs.
Great. I look to Obram. You don't have a Spacebook, do you?
What is that?
Good.
Perfect.
Nothing. No.
I keep getting these memes
Well, you know what memes are, so that's good, Obram.
about not wanting vaccinations. Is that something I should be doing? I'm not sure.
Oh,
Oh, God. Obram, no.
we were ready to die for you.
Yeah, someone's gonna have to sit down with Obram and like make sure he's not getting scammed. Yeah.
Yeah. Look, let me see any emails you have from...
Yeah, they're all like penis enlargement stuff. He's like,
I don't know how I keep getting these.
concerned princes. Like, oh, I must give you some of my wealth. Like, God.
They keep saying my grandkids are in jail and I need to send them credits.
First concerning thing to me is he said, don't tell other people about this.
Blab about it, yeah.
But there are already others, like, trying to find this thing, too.
Yeah. And also, how would we get out there and find it if our ship's getting repaired? We gotta wait till our ship's done, right?
Or we swindle someone.
Us?
Yeah. Gasp.
Us?
We've owned 2 ships before.
you feel pretty confident that the repairs can be done in sort of like a time. I mean, Vampro has a team of like droids and stuff that also work on it. So
Cool.
Okay. Is there anything that you want to do while we're waiting?
Yeah, he said to go find information.
But we're not allowed to blab. How are we supposed to do that?
Well, we're not gonna blab. We're gonna go listen in some shady bars or some shady locales.
Okay. Then can I, just because I think it would be kind of fun, can we go to somewhere maybe a little dingy that we could recreationally make a little credits while we're getting information?
Oh, okay. Yeah, for sure. What are you thinking, LO?
I don't know.
Yeah, seems like you're more capitalist minded than I am in this instance.
I was kind of thinking like gambling,
Okay.
but I'm not sure if I want to go like Fight Club gambling route or like straight gambling route. Thoughts? Opinions? Because I feel like we'll meet some shady folks
I feel
there,
like Verse
right?
would know where to gamble. Like if we asked her, like, hey, what kind of games can we win at? Like,
I'm already looking it up.
there's that
she's,
card
like,
game.
she's like on
I
it.
got you.
None of us are overtly good at gambling, I don't think. Like, I know Creed probably is like, oh, I love shoots and ladders. Like,
Shoots and ladders.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
and Obram,
Yeah.
like, probably the last time Obram gambled was in the year 1, you know? Like,
Yeah.
so Verse, maybe Verse would be, and I hate to say it, Devrick, but I'm done with him. He's not with us. I assume he's already doing his own thing.
He gets them digits so he can get his finders, so he can find you
Oh
again.
shit! Yeah, he wants his money. Yeah, that's true. I guess Verse would have to be our point man.
Or Gur. Maybe Gur would know.
Oh, I forgot. Oh my god, how could I forget about Gur?
He's pretty slimy.
Hey, I take offense to that. I am furry, thank you very much.
Just listen to your voice, Gur.
You go off and you're having this conversation, like you're doing a walk and talk, and it's through the streets of the ring, and there is, I mean, it's crowded. It's hard to like get through people. Like you're always constantly bumping shoulders with people. Like a really busy market. There's stalls everywhere and stuff like pushing out from the walls, and so you're just constantly in this like flow of traffic and like bumping into people. And there's shops everywhere. Like there's all kinds of things for sale here. People shouting, there's like spices and like cool little pyramids, there's armor, there's cybernetics. Eyes.
Stop! Don't tempt us. We only have 1,000
I
credits.
know.
Yeah, stuff to make you more perceptive, perhaps.
Oh, stop it. You know our weakness.
So there's all kinds of stuff to be bought along here as you're having this conversation.
Well, as they're walking through this very crowded area, and just say, the ship is going to take a little while to be repaired, and we thought while we're here, we might as well try to make some credits. What are your thoughts?
I'm all for trying to make some more credits because goodness knows we need it. We just dropped a ton of credits on repairing the ship, and we're gonna need food, we're gonna need fuel, that kind of stuff.
You'll hear Big Axe kind of chuckle. We dropped money on the ship. We. I seem to remember one person's finger sliding, and he like dramatically does the sliding symbol, sliding the money from one data pack to another.
Hey, we're a crew now, all right? We share in those kind of expenses. We share in the duties, and we share in the in those expenses. You know, leave a penny, take a penny.
I have the distinct feeling that the pain I felt was very singular and not shared.
Well, that's you all over, Big Ax's singular pain that's distinct only to you.
More to the point, I think information gathering for this derelict vessel could be handled easily. It could be our first step. And then maybe finding out where it is. At least getting a clue. We just have to be careful.
And if you want to make some quick credit, perhaps doing a little bit of gambling.
You got any side cash that we don't know about?
Not said cash, but I could sniff out what kind of action there is on the ring if that's something you're interested in. Cards, fighting, I'm sure there's all sorts of things you can bet on here.
Ella's gonna put their arm on Girth's shoulder, and though this is probably going to annoy him, is going to say, like father, like son. I think that's a great idea.
Oh, you bit trigger him.
I know I did. But I picture Borsk as a gambler too, so.
For sure, right? Definitely. Yeah. You see Gur just kind of like bristle at that, and he just like
hisses at me.
Nah, he doesn't go that far, I don't think, but you can see his like fur bristles up. He's like,
Are you good at any games?
I know so back. We could do some drinking games. I'm great at that.
I am terrible at those. What's the minimum buy-ins, you think?
I mean, it's probably pretty low stakes here at the ring, but it offers us a chance to get to know what's going on here, get our ear in on what's happening here as well. It is a two-pronged operation. This is something I know rather well. Yes, you are playing for money, and of course we want to win, but we are asking questions, we are learning, we are gathering information.
The real prize is the info.
That is what you are paying for in the end. And, you know, hopefully we get enough to find out where this ship is, and hopefully there's something on there that is worth our time, and then we'll just make the money back. That's a lot of hopefullys, and I don't like banking on those. That's not good gambling.
Worst comes to worst, we take the fuel from the ship, or parts of the engine that we know we will need later on. Some salvage. And I assume we're walking towards this gambling place, this structure that has the games that were described. Part of me feels like it's like some kind of like mega structure, kind of, where it's like you go inside and it's like, well, first floor has all these like shops or open stalls, and then like there's a turbo lift or maybe even some kind of steps that take you to the next floor. The next floor is like card games and yada 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 as they go up and up and up. So if I can, I'd like to, when we walk in, one of the stalls on the first floor is the noodle stall, the chain.
For sure. It's sort of like open plaza, all these shops, and then goes up to maybe like residential, but a lot of those places have been turned into also other kinds of shops and services and that kind of thing, just based on necessity here. And that includes rooms for gambling and stuff like that. And certainly as you walk in, oh boy, you smell it before you see it. There is a Star Noodle Shop kiosk here, run by a friendly and recognizable R2 unit who is throwing noodles into a bowl.
BGX stops in his tracks. I'll be right back. And just walks over, and immediately it's like he's welcome home to a bar he never left. Like, hello, large, please.
When you're here, your family. And BGX has a bunch of coupons too, doesn't he?
Yeah. My book. Pull out the coupon book. Free drink. I'm gonna use this coupon for my first purchase, and then after that, I'm gonna get another one, and I'm gonna use this coupon.
Heck yeah. So yeah, you come away, stir up noodles in a bowl, gives it to you. You know, that's the thing about droid making cuisine. It's always the same, no matter where you go. Like, it's always the same. And if it's what you like, then you got consistency, baby.
Consistency is king.
Yeah.
BGX just just going to town, going nuts on the bowl.
Hello, fringers, rebels, my scum and villainy. Thanks for joining me here in hyperspace. I've just got a couple of quick things to go over, so don't skip just yet. Firstly, if you're listening to this, you know we've found a natural point of closure for the events on Sokoro. Now, that doesn't mean that our fringers won't be back to the planet, but this makes a fantastic place to jump in as a new listener or pick back up if you've fallen behind. So if you know someone, friend or family or coworker or someone in your social circle that you think would enjoy the show, let them know that this episode 35, Let the Jawas Win, is a great place to get started. And then you can chat and discuss about all the things going on in the latest episode with that person, like already. You can speculate on what could happen and get others to join the conversation about our little Star Wars story. On that note, if you haven't already, please let us know how we're doing by leaving us a rating and review. Apple Podcasts is a great place to do that, but honestly, leaving a review on whatever platform you use to listen is super helpful. It gets the word out about the show and gets other people involved in the conversation. I've been thinking about having a segment where characters on the show read and maybe talk and discuss your reviews. So maybe like BGAX or LO or Creed reads something you've written, and I don't know. It's just something I'm thinking about. You can let me know what you think about that by hitting us up on social media, Twitter or Instagram @RespectTheCrit, on Facebook.com/RespectTheCrit, by emailing us or joining our Discord group. Link to that group is in the bio of our Twitter and Instagram. Check it out. Let us know what you think. And yeah, tell your friends or tell your mom. I'm sure she'd love the show. Also, there's been quite a few tragedies in the US in recent weeks, specifically with the shootings of two young black people, Dwayne Wright and Adam Toledo. We've tried to raise awareness on our podcast about racial justice and protests against police violence. Those episodes have really helpful information in their show notes, and almost all of those resources can be found on our Discord server as well. I've put some really helpful and informative links in the show notes of this episode about the importance of police abolitionism. There's some short videos and articles and lists of other resources, and I really encourage you to check them out. They really help you understand, to educate yourself, and to be able to talk about police abolitionism with other people. They help you with a full comprehension of the issue and dispel myths and fears about rethinking what public safety should look like in our country and in our communities. I hear from a lot of people, how will we be safe without the police? And these informative videos and short articles, they really help and clearly explain what law enforcement looks like without the institution of policing as we know it right now. So please check those out and encourage others to check them out. Honestly, they help so much with being able to speak clearly and intelligently about police abolitionism and why it's so important for racial justice. So thank you for listening. Thank you for checking us out. Thank you for rating and reviewing us, and for all of your wonderful comments already. I can't wait to hear what you think about the story so far. So with that, let's jump out of hyperspace and into the rest of the episode. I guess we can do this a couple of ways. Like we could do like a sort of improvised game of sabacc here or something. I think the goal is you want to get some information, but you also want to try and make a little money too. So there should be some chance or some stake involved in that.
This is our gambling episode.
Yeah.
we haven't had this one yet.
Yeah, let's do this. You ask the noodle droid, like, where do you go to play cards? And they tell you a floor to go to. It's high up, or it's up in this structure. So you take a turbo lift up there, and when you arrive, like, you can see on the floor, it looks out into the courtyard, and there's people just like hanging around, all kinds of beings like crowding this area. People are like smoking tobacco. Someone comes up and like offers you death sticks. And you get to a place that like kind of looks like someone's apartment, but it's been converted into this card den, like this place to gamble. The way it looks like, I don't know if this might be really regional, but like, you know, in LA how there's like tarot readings and like fortune telling people things.
Yep.
And it's like basically somebody's house or apartment, but like it's been converted into a business. Like that's kind of what this is. There's like neon signs and like smoke pouring through this room, making it really atmospheric, and like there's a murmur in here, but everyone's sort of like measured. And you sit down at one of the tables. Someone like you give them credits to put into this pot, and you're sat at a table. Who's there? Let's fill this table. Who do we got at this table? Give me like a species and maybe something about them. And let's actually let me do a roll here. There's four beings at this table. So let's put some people in here. Alex, you're smiling. What do you got?
Well, in my head, for some reason, it instinctively just goes to like a Western. Remember the movie The Quick and the Dead? There's the guy who's like ace of spades, and he's just like really good at doing the trick shots. But then in reality, he's like absolute garbage as a duelist, and he gets blown away. I forget the actor, but he basically plays Wayland Yutani in the Aliens franchise.
Okay,
Lance Henriksen.
Okay, so we've got an older human man who is dressed a lot like Cad Bane, the famous bounty hunter, / assassin. And yeah, he's like flipping credit chips in between his fingers and doing tricks. So that's one. Who else we got at this table here?
I don't know a lot about the variety of races in Star Wars, so I'm going to give you a general idea and you can pick a species. I want a lady draped in other ladies. Like,
yeah.
You know, like just, oh, yes, these are my girls.
Yeah, like just like a suave smuggler.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah, okay, cool.
And they may have paid for these ladies, but we don't know.
We won't know, and they'll never tell.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, maybe let's go Twi'lek, the race with the like big or the big tentacles coming off their head.
Yes, that's definitely a sexy race.
Yeah, so well, like give me the color then. What color is this?
Ooh, purple. Like a deep dark purple.
Yeah, and she's just surrounded by all these ladies that look like they could be sex workers, but we don't know.
Right, they're just obviously beautiful.
I want to call her Madam for some reason, just Madam.
100%. Yeah,
is her name. Okay.
And has like a real good poker face too.
It's always just like kind of a smile. I want to have an Ithorian in there, which is like a big slug creature. Like cool. it's got like a big slug head, and they like talk out of the side of their heads. They have like gills on the side of their heads, and he's got like a translator on the side here, so like stuck into his gills. He's got like a bandolier and a bunch of like scars. Okay, one more. Let's do one more. Maybe we can committee this.
I already know. I want to
okay.
have I want to have a Jawa at this table.
Yes. I think we can all be on board for a Jawa.
And he's got like his buddies behind him, just like, like they're all like laughing and shit.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, they're like at the table they're like helping him, but they're not supposed to.
Yeah, they have to like keep getting like the bouncers keep having to like push them away from the table.
Awesome. What a cast of characters.
They're the next season. That's who we follow next season.
Yeah, this group here.
Lance Henriksen and Friends, season 2.
So you sit down at this table, you're brought to this table, and sitting here in this smoky setup at the table that you're at is a human man, older, got some of those like age lines on him. He's wearing essentially what is like cowboy attire. He's got like a brimmed hat, and he's got like boots and like dark leathers on, and he's just like flipping a cred chip through his fingers. There's also a female Twi'lek here who is this like deep, beautiful color of purple. She has really long leku coming down her head. She's sort of like kicked back in like smuggler's clothes. She's got like a vest, and she has this little smile on her face as she's just holding the cards up in front of her. And she keeps like looking at the cards and then looking up at the fine ass ladies, and they're around this Twi'lek, and she like does that. She like does the barest minimum of movement to like look up at the ladies and then look at the cards and look at everyone at the table. You know, it's just like really small turns of the head. There's an Ithorian who's got a bandolier across his chest, scars all over him, and he's talking through a electronic translator that's sort of like wrapped around his neck and sticking into the gills along the sides of his head. And then there is a bunch of Jawas chittering and laughing and are really excited. One's at the table, but he looks like he's rolling deep with a crew of Jawas behind him that are trying to maybe like help him out, maybe help him figure out how to play the game. But the security keeps having to push those Jawas back, and they're like getting all super excited, and cards are dealt. It's Elo and Bigax, right? You're both playing. Do
they allow droids to play this game?
I was gonna ask, are droids allowed to play? Because like I'm a computer.
Sure, baby. Droids are welcome here.
Okay, then yeah, Elo will play.
Yeah. So this human man, he looks over at you and like tips his hat, and he's like,
Welcome.
and the Twi'lek smiles at you. The Jawa is busy turning the cards from upside down to right side up. The Ithorian just kind of like grumbles at you, and let's play a little sabak. Let's talk about what the wager is. How much you want to bet in all this? How much are you willing to lose?
I mean,
you want to just go all in? Is just like a one-time?
No.
Okay.
This is the worst part. I'm really bad at this in real life. Like in like the slot machines, are like
Figuring out what to do. Yeah.
I will wager at first 20.
20. Okay, going slow. 20 is like what the two of you are kind of like doing, right?
Is it 20 each or 20 together?
Let's say it's 20 together, just to like make it easier on everything.
Okay.
Let me ask you a very important question. Are any of y'all cheating?
Not at first. Never at first. I'm not
Right.
cheating.
I'm not gonna cheat right now. You got to figure out where this deck is at before I start counting cards.
Give me a average skill check based on your cool ability, your cool skill.
Okay.
3 advantage.
I have 1 success and 2 advantage.
Now, to sort of simulate fate and luck, each of us are going to roll the destiny die, and based on the light side or the dark side, we'll change the outcome of your roll a little bit.
Oh, it can like flip them. It can reverse them.
Yeah, I can flip them. Put my thing down, flip it, and reverse
I'm so
it.
scared. Oh no! I got dark side.
As did I.
The dark side changes your successes into changes. If you got 1, it changes 1 success into a failure and 1 advantage into a threat. So what is the final count for everyone?
So that would mean that my success turns into a failure. So I have 1 failure, and my advantage and threat cancel out. So I just have 1 failure.
So then I have 1 just one advantage then.
Let's turn that advantage into the other thing that you're trying to do here, which is to gather information. So maybe let's play this hand and then try and probe the table for some information about this derelict ship. We'll say that you have lost this first wager, so that's 20 credits gone. The cowboy, like, he's like, well, too rich for my blood. Puts his thing in, and the Jawa bangs his fist on the table. The Athorian, like, gurgles something angrily. Sounds like it's coming through mud, folds his card, and the Twi'lek reaches over and winks at all of you, and she's like, guess I won, and pulls the pot into her.
I think Big X will grumble as well. And he looks at the Jawa. Where are you guys from? Tatooine? Or somewhere else?
The Jawa, like, one of his crew speaks up, and it's like, yeah, we're from Tatooine. What of it?
Oh, nothing. Just interesting seeing so many of you guys. You know, playing a game where it's supposed to be just one person and not, you know, someone's whole family.
The Jawa at the table, like, looks back and, like, bats away his friends to sort of, like, back up, get away.
I'll look at Lance Henriksen. I'll look at the old cowboy. It's not often I see also expert gamblers. At least I assume, with the getup, that this is more or less your scene.
Oh, it's mighty charitable of you. Oh, I feel right at home at this table. Speaking of home, where was it you said you were from?
The Plain Jane. I'm from Malastare. Born and raised. Just, making a quick stop.
Ain't nothing wrong with making a quick stop here at the Ring. Losing a few credits, maybe?
I'm trying to win them, but, uneventful so far. It's only been one hand. Things can change.
Ain't that the truth?
I don't know how to ask for information.
So, anybody hear about any derelict ships out there?
Yeah,
or-
anybody know about any treasure chests in space? It could be, I think we can phrase it like, I could lie, right, and say that Big Axe will let it be known that he's, you know, him and his crew are stopped here and that they're salvage crew. You know, and they're just looking to pick up any junkyards, you know, floating out there.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
He won't necessarily say that there is one in particular he's looking for, but that he's found a few good ones along the way. But, you know, just that, like, he'll just try to set up the groundwork, like, oh yeah, I'm a scrapper, I'm a salvager.
Yeah, gotcha.
I have a crew. Yeah, I got a crew, and we're just picking up, you know, salvage along the way.
Yeah, the Jawa, when you say this, the Jawa speaks up and is like, oh yeah, we heard about some. I'm not going to do a Jawa voice. It translates to, oh yeah, we heard about some good salvo around here as well.
Oh, Big X kind of looks up. Oh, I haven't heard anything. What's out there? How far?
What's the word?
Why don't you let me win some more of your credits and maybe I'll tell you.
Big X will look at Lance Henriksen next to him. If you want my credits, you have to actually win a hand first, buddy, not just hit your fist on the table.
You see the Twi'lek and she's like, boys, if you want to keep playing, let's keep playing. Deal the cards.
Yeah, he'll nod. Big X will nod. I'll subtly look at LO like, help me.
Ella's just like, I don't understand these rules.
Oh no.
Literally just copying whatever anyone else is doing. Oh
my god, that's funny. Yeah, LO is
Just
like,
don't copy the Jawa.
yeah, don't copy the Jawa. LO, like, it like rack focuses to LO looking at another table and she's like literally just like doing what they're doing. Mm-hmm. Or they, excuse me. Yeah, let's play another round. So yeah, let's make another average cool roll. Wait, let me ask, is anyone cheating?
Not yet. I'm not doing that yet. I know. Big X, he's feeling it out because he understands now the Jawas don't have any idea how to play. Lance Henriksen kind of knows how to play. Thorian knows how to play, and Madame definitely knows how to play. She just beat the shit out of all of us already.
My cool is my highest out of all of those, so I'm just going to stick with. And I don't think Ella would, not knowing what they're doing, they aren't going to cheat.
Got it. So before we roll, what's the wager? Let me ask you that.
Oh,
What does
shit.
this wager get up to? Does it only get back up to 20, or are you gonna put in a little bit.
I put a little more in, right? Because now we're getting a feel. We're trying to be friendly.
I like it. I like it. Yeah, I like it.
35.
Okay, 35. 35's in the pot. Let's do those rolls. Average cool check.
1 success, 1 advantage, 3 threats.
And I have 3 success, 3 threats.
Roll me that destiny roll. Let's see how the cards treat you.
Oh, come on.
Oh, that sounds like some dark side.
One dark side, so I have 1 threat, or 1 failure, 4 threats.
I got 2 dark side.
Oh, 2 dark side. Okay, you have a success, but 3 threats.
You lose the ability to concentrate on the game, upgrading the difficulty of one of your next roll once.
We could say you suffer some strain too, Alex, because you had 4. So just like gets a bad hand and he's like, oh.
This feels like getting stun gunned again.
But LO wins the pot.
Yay!
I think the threats here are you have no idea how you won or what you're doing, but
Right.
you
I was just copying Madame, and apparently I won. Ella is going to surprisingly, as soon as no one claims the pot, is going to say, "Oh, I think that I won." And is going to give a little clap to themselves before they they slide the pot over. Maybe I am getting the hang of this.
The Twi'lek looks at you and like gives a wink as she folds her cards down.
She knows I was watching her.
And the Jawa again, he slams his cards down on the table. Lots of commotion from that side of the table. The Arthurian again just grumbles. You can see the eyes. He like sees the play. He sees the Twi'lek talking to Elo and just like rolls his big Ithorian eyes. And the cowboy just sort of like does that like, well, puts his cards down, goes back to flipping a chip. Do you want to probe for any information or anything like that?
Well, we do have a lead, but I feel like we have to let the Jawa win in order to get more info. But I'll try.
That's an interesting strategy. Let the Jawa win.
I don't know that we can with all these other players either, but...
You know, there's a way to get the outcome that you're trying to get. That's called cheating.
That is true. Cheating. I just don't have very good dice in those categories. Like, all of them are just 1 green, and it's like, I might as well just stick with cool.
If you don't name the episode Let the Jawa Win, I'm going to be very
Let the Jawa win.
Jawa win. That's cute. So I suppose Elo is going to sort of ask the table, because I sort of picture, I don't think that Elo and Bigax would have sat next to each other. I think they probably would have sat like across from each other.
Yeah.
So I sort of picture her or them asking the entire table, overhearing Bigax's conversation with the Jawa to sort of get everyone else involved and just ask, "You were saying that you heard that there was a good salvage out there. Any idea where that might be?"
And you're just like addressing the whole table.
Addressing the Jawa, but loud enough that anyone can jump in if they wanted to.
Gotcha. So yeah, the Twi'lek like looks up at the women surrounding her. I don't got time for salvage. I'm a little busy. The Jawa is like, oh yeah, there's a ton. I mean, there's junk just floating all over out here. Junk is a Jawa's treasure. That's what I always say. Isn't that what we always say, boys? They're trying to like slip him cards, and he's like, no, don't do that. No, you can't do that. Lance, I guess his name is just Lance now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
His name is Lance.
His name is Lance. He's like,
Heard about some ghost ship or something just floating out in the expanse. Thought it might be Imperial though. But then again, there's a lot of that stuff floating around ever since the war ended. Separatist ships, all that kind of stuff. It's anybody's game, just like Sabak.
Bigax takes note that Lance is has some knowledge that he's not sharing. He can feel it. At least he has a hunch. So he'll kind of do the scratches. He'll purposefully make a tell.
oh,
as he's failing the hands, he's gonna continually rub his chin because he does that naturally. So his idea is he's just gonna do it all the time, even if he starts winning too. So it becomes confusing.
I like that. That's super cool. Let's play another hand. Unless there's something else you want to do or ask. Sorry.
No, I'm good. No, I'm just vibing. I'm vibing with Lance.
Yeah. So this one's gonna be a hard check for the two of you because we're upgrading that difficulty based on the threats. So that's 3 purple.
3 purple. Gotcha.
Yeah. And are any of you cheating? Do you want to do any cheating? It seems like LO is resigned to not cheat, which is fine.
Yeah.
Which is totally fine.
Oh, wait.
I'm also looking at 3 light side points. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I am just
We could
saying.
totally use those.
Yeah, the wager is 35.
35 again. Okay.
Okay. 35.
Unless you want to do more, Jamie.
No, that's good.
3 failures.
Uh-oh.
1 success. 2 threats. 1 advantage.
I got 2 advantages, 1 failure.
Roll me the destiny die.
Come on.
Oh, come on, man. We said we were due for the dark side, but damn.
Woo! 2 light side.
2 light side.
Nice.
1 dark side.
Yep.
So that just means you have 1 failure, 1 advantage, and that means you got 1 success, 1 advantage, right?
2 success.
All right, cool. That's great.
Elo is going to put their cards down and say, I think I won again.
The Jawa comes over to your side of the table to look and goes, no, like comes over to your face. You cheat.
Oh, okay.
This is no win. You cheat.
Okay, I must have misunderstood.
The Athorian folds again, grumbles. Everyone seems to put their cards down, but Bigax, you win this hand. What does that look like?
Bigax kind of puts the cards face up. He throws them across the table. Good old Doug luck is what I like to call it. And one nasty Doug hand claw paws all the chips as they scatter and crumble towards him. Clack, 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 clack. Puts them in a nice, neat pile, or at least what he thinks is a neat pile. Looks at the Jawa, smiles, big nasty smile. Looks to Lance and says, "So, there's some sort of imp ship out there, huh? That's a good score. You sure you're not looking for it yourself? Sounds like, you have a clearer picture than even the best scrappers." And he points to the Jawas.
He tips his hat at you and he says, well, now I'm always looking for that score just like everyone else at the table is. But I heard it's dangerous.
Scrapping, scavenging in general is dangerous. I don't know if you're new to the business or not, but oftentimes you get shot at when something's valuable and you happen to have it. And then I'll show him my scar on my chest, and I'll just pull it to the side, open up the tunic, and there's like a scar for where I got shot clear through the chest when I was on the swoop.
He does that like low whistle like nice guys. Anything that's just out there floating by itself that looks too good to be true, well, it usually is. That's all I'm saying.
You wouldn't happen to know where this too good to be true thing is, would you?
I'll tell you what, you clean me out. Maybe buy me a drink. Maybe I let you in on what I know.
He'll smile. Shouldn't be too hard. And then he'll rub his chin.
Do you want to do another hand? You've got some advantages now, too.
I would like to figure out an opponent's tells and downgrade the difficulty of my next.
Sounds good. Let's do another hand.
I'm gonna cheat this time.
Okay.
Cheat.
And the Lance looks at you and he's like, let's make this interesting now that there's something on the line. He pushes all the credit chips and he's like, all in, baby. And he looks over at the Twi'lek and she's barely smiles. She just like moves her head just a little to the credit pile and then flicks her eyes up. She takes her smuggler boot and like puts it up. It's her like feet are on the table, and she just like kicks like pushes the credits over with her shoe like into the pile of money.
That is unsanitary. And in these dark and trying times, we really don't need that.
Ithorian like puts in what he has left, and then also like puts his translator in the pile.
That's funny.
Oh no.
And the Jawas are like, there's a little like fire brigade of them just like handing credits to each other to their buddy to like see if he can get into the pot. What's this wager? Let's make this interesting. What is this wager?
They're all in. I feel like it's got to be a lot.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you decide, but
all in, I guess. Yeah, just Gex begrudgingly shoves it all in. 690 credits.
Oh, you're going 690 credits. Okay.
That's the all in.
All right, cool. If you're gonna cheat, you can use deception, skullduggery, or computers. And
I wonder which one.
Yeah. It's going to be an average check for you, Jamie. It is going to be a single red for you, Begax. Would either of you like to spend any light side points?
I did to make it 3 yellows.
Oh, okay. So you're spending a light side point?
I'll spend one too. Why not?
I love it.
Put it all on the table.
Put it all on black. That's what I say. Put it all on dark side.
No.
I'd like to think that Begax cheating is him keeping a card, right? Or like him having some sort of card, maybe because he knew we were gonna go play cards. He pulls it out when the Jawas are like, he's been looking at the moments when the bouncers or security has to keep asking Jawas like, hey, get back. And as this pile people start placing all these things into the pile and they start counting, that's when he switches a card that he has to one that he needs.
I love it. I'm gonna also, just because I have so many of them, I'm gonna flip a dark side point as well. And Jamie, I'm gonna upgrade your die to a red die. So a red and a purple.
A red and a purple, okay.
Yeah, because Elo has not been doing too well.
No.
I mean,
they won once.
They won once, beginner's luck, but
yeah.
They're looking over, trying to copy what other people are doing, and the other people are losing. Okay, give me those rolls.
1 success, 1 advantage, and then with the 3rd yellow, that is a triumph, my friends.
Oh!
Cheating always wins, everybody out there. Cheating always wins.
Let this be a lesson to you. So what'd you get, Jamie? Your non-cheat.
Got 1 success, 1 threat.
So give me that.
It's gonna be dark side. I've rolled nothing but dark side. Okay, here we go. 1 fucking dark side. One dark side, I told you. Damn it.
I knew the dark side of the force was gonna come through for me somehow.
Oh no, dude.
We used so many light side points for that roll. And just lost so much money.
It turns triumphs into despairs?
No. It only turns 1 success into... You each rolled 1 dark side, right? So it only turns 1 success into a failure and 1 advantage to a threat.
So I have 3 threats and...
1 success.
Jamie, so now you just have a failure and a threat, right?
Yep.
Don't worry, I won all your money for us.
Okay, so let me tell you what you win. 2,760.
You could just make it 2,769 if you want to.
Let's call it 2,769.
A little extra from the Jawas.
Yeah, a little credits spill out. They put too much in.
Yeah.
The Ithorian, he mumbles like really gruffly, and he starts yelling, but you can't figure out what he's saying.
Oh yeah, we have a translator now too.
Oh, we have a translator now. Sweet.
And also some stuff that it looks like the Jawas just put in that kind of just looks like junk, but it's in there. The Twi'lek is like, well, I'm bust, but I got plans, so be seeing you. She gets up out of the table, takes her feet off the table, puts her arms around a couple of the women, and walks out the door. And Lance takes his hat, puts it on the table, And he's like, well, I'm beat. You could be civil and buy me a drink.
Yeah, man, it's only fair. Since I cleaned house. And I'll look at Elo. How about you, droid? You looking for some friends?
I could always use some more of those.
You're welcome to join. And he'll wink.
Elo's gonna get up from the table and just like, as they're walking away, talking to these other people, the Jawas, I assume, that are still nearby, and just be like, I just don't understand this game.
I can just envision them just like furious. All the other ones like yelling at their friend, punching him in the back.
listened
Like,
to
what the
us."
hell did you do? And there's like one in the back who has like a handful of cards. Like, I told you, I told you.
Cut to somewhere in this complex, having a drink. With Lance.
Big X has Elo sitting next to him, and he has Lance on the other side, and he'll kind of give Lance a drink and give him like a shot of something else, and he'll have him. Big X will have himself whatever the equivalent of like RC Cola is. He's got like one of those. He's like opens up a can, starts downing it. Oh yeah.
You know, I was thinking about it. Can there be something that Elo can order that is like almost the equivalent of getting like an oil change, where you just sort of plug in and it's filtering something in there? I don't know. It feels weird that I can't like order anything ever. So I'm trying to think, what's something?
Or like some sort of like what they put in the fuel to break down the dried up particles that are in the engine or whatever.
Yeah, it's some kind of like some kind of lube.
Lubing them up.
Yeah, I think they have exactly that.
Dope.
Big X opens up the conversation after the drinks are brought out. Lance, I gotta tell you, you're one of the easiest hustles I've ever had in my entire life.
He sort of like, he kind of nods, like he's a little salty about losing, but he just kind of like goes back into a smile, and he's like,
that's what I like to be. Easy, just taking it easy.
Well, this droid and I are actually pretty close. We've run some other hustles together.
Oh, really? Anything I heard about?
If you have, I wouldn't want you knowing.
Fair enough. Much obliged for the drink.
Well, that's not all. I'm willing to part with some of the winnings for some information.
Oh, and what information are you looking for? The more you're willing to part with, the more my lips are willing to part. If you know what I mean.
I'll pull up the data pad and have 150 creds, or no, I'll say 250 creds, and I'll spin it around just so he sees how much I'm willing to offer, and then go into a little spiel. That derelict that we mentioned before. Let's say you happen to know where it is, and let's say I'm willing to go in there and get whatever's in there. I'd also be willing to part with, and I'll tap on the data pad, this for starters, maybe work my way up depending on how accurate the information may be.
Well, I can tell you what I know. I flew by that ship, coming in here into the ring. You don't just go approaching an Imperial ship, and this one was a big one. It was dark. Dark, not like how most of the Imperial aesthetics are all blacks and grays. I mean, it was that too, but scans on it, at least initial scans, said there was no power on it. It was down to emergency power. Nothing going on. Nobody hailed me. Very strange. Plus, that ship ain't supposed to be there. The Imperials are really into their borders and the places they control and the places they want people in and out of. Now, I know getting to the ring is a little bit off the beaten path, but no Imperial ship should be out there. Nothing should be out there. There is nothing out there. Anyway, I didn't brave getting on board because I don't want to mess with no Imperials. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know this. I know the sentiment.
So I can't tell you what's on that ship, but I know when I flew by it, there was no action around it, and I haven't told too many people about it. I'll tell you that much for free. It's likely you won't have too many competitors if you move fast.
How many people have you told?
Well, you and the company that we were keeping at the table. But I can't stress enough, it's just floating out there. And so, even though I haven't told a lot of people, it could be I'm not the only one who's seen it.
Okay. Big X changes the amount to 300 credits, so he ups it and then sends it to him.
He does a whistle.
Yeah, Big X looks up. The extras to keep your mouth shut about this conversation.
Mighty kind. Much appreciated.
We should get going.
Yes, especially if there may be other people trying to find the ship.
I'm very concerned. And he'll look at Lance and nod and get up. And as him and Elo begin to walk, he'll mention, I'm very concerned about those Jawas being on the tail of this derelict also.
I don't know that I share that sentiment. They didn't seem very, well, let's say put together.
Not at cards, but when it comes to salvage, these guys are little maniacs. If they find something like you out there in the wild, unclaimed, and he puts quotation mark because he would never claim a droid, they tear you apart.
Well, then we have to get there before they do.
Big Axe will nod and will move as quickly as he can to get Gur and Verse. I'd say meet them back in downstairs plaza again. He sees the ramen shop. He's like, no, you can't have 2 in one day. That's too many calories.
Yeah. You meet up with them. Versus oh, she's probably a little bit drunk. She was doing some drinking games. She's didn't get too lucky with the winnings or about the ship really. What about you?
Big X looks at Verse and has the most disappointed look on his face. Yes. And he just takes it off. Yeah, we did. I pulled off a big win. And he looks at Elo and smiles. $2,000. Easy.
That is a lot of credits.
We got quite lucky.
Yeah, I did.
I didn't know you knew how to play Sabak, Elo.
I'm not sure that I know how to play either. We made some new friends, that is for sure.
Oh, great. How many? Who knows we are here?
We know where the ship is. But we have to move fast.
I didn't hear too much about the ship, but I did hear a little bit about Socorro and what's going on back there. It seems they are doubling their efforts in looking for the two of you. They don't seem to know where you are, but I did see some bounty pucks that had your faces floating on them.
Was it a good resemblance?
Yeah, I'm tired of these drawings that they keep putting out of me. It's not very good.
Yeah, no, they were great. Very lifelike. They captured your essence, that's for sure.
I'm just gonna say, as Jamie, I feel really good about Gur giving us this information and not turning us in for the bounty.
Yeah.
I was worried about Gur. I was like, I don't know that he's 100% loyal to the crew, but
I know he doesn't spy for the Empire,
Yeah.
which is great. That's a good sign. I think we deduced that earlier. Yeah, Big X just gonna reiterate. Then we should probably get moving. And also, he looks at Verse, who I assume she's leaning on some sort of flower bed structure thing, just trying to keep her balance, head on hand, trying to act like she's fine. We should get her on the ship with a cup of coffee.
I'm good. I'm fine. I'm good. I just need another drink. I'll be fine.
Nope.
come along, sweetie. Let's get you some rest.
Hey, I like to Ella and nod hey, grab her.
And Ella will do just that, sort of letting Verse lean on them.
Gur is also I also asking around about Lahan, where maybe we can get coordinates to make a jump to there or find a safe way. If our friend Vampro can't help us, there might be a lead with that as well, provided we make it back here safely.
Yeah, okay. Well, first things first, get ready for our salvage operation, I guess.
This is all happening as you're walking through these markets through the ring of Kafrine. I'm assuming you're all headed back to the ship, and yeah, you pass by all of these colorful stalls, clouds of ammonia shooting out, blasting in front of you. Elo is propping up Verse, and the five of you are making your way as we pull out from this enormous structure between these two massive asteroids as you head back to the way.
We're making so many friends, Alex.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Technically.
They're all pirates. Like,
They're not all gonna fit on the ship. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Respect the Crit, Empire's Edge. If you like what you heard, please consider supporting us by giving us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts. It's easy, free, and helps other people learn about the show. And we love reading your feedback. For more information about the show, visit @RespectTheCrit on Twitter and Instagram, or come chat with us on our official Discord server. Bigax is played by Alex Herrera, who you can find on Twitter @AE Herrera or on his Twitch channel, WadeWolf10. LO is played by Jamie Lee Bonez, who you can find on Instagram @jamielee.bones. I'm Ian Duncan, your GM and MC, and you can find me @idunks on Twitter and Instagram. The original music featured in this episode is provided with license or permission by a variety of talented artists whose information and credits are linked in the show notes. Please support them by visiting their platforms to check out more of their work and tell them how much you like their music in our show. The Star Wars role-playing system is published by Fantasy Flight Games. And remember, whatever the system, whether it's a miss or a hit, you always gotta respect the crit. Thank you very much, and may the Force be with you.
We're gambling.
You just said cheating always wins.
Yeah, because we're gambling.
We're married.
I love you.
Sure. Apparently you don't.
he said, are you sure?
Not marital cheating, gambling cheating.
Gambling cheating.
Oh, that's really funny.
Julian came.
He's like, what?
Yeah, you said what now?